Hey yo, what's up guys, Mr. Kydrex here again, doing another video for you guys today. And welcome back to another segment of Godzilla Figure Reviews Revamped. Again, this is a new series where I take a look at Godzilla figures that were released years back and see if they still hold up to as well as they did back in the day. I decided to continue going in chronological order with characters from the Godzilla series that are kaiju based, and we're going to be bringing in a new kaiju instead of Godzilla himself. It is going to be the Bandai 50th Anniversary Memorial Box 1955. Anguirus. Now, as I said, this is from the Bandai 50th Anniversary Memorial Box set. It is based on Anguirus' appearance in Godzilla Raids Again. To be quite honest with you guys, I really do love this figure. And it's my first Anguirus figure. I never had one before, and I'm thankful to have possibly one of my favorite designs of Anguirus, the Showa Anguirus, to be my first Anguirus figure. Considering the fact that this is based off the 1955 Anguirus, does it hold up at being the Anguirus that we see in Godzilla Raids Again? Let's take a look. The detail on this figure is absolutely outstanding. You can see right there we got the individual horns on top of the head. You see the muzzle right there of Anguirus. There's the eye there. You can see there's the fangs hanging out with the other teeth that are there. And you can see the neck detail as well. See these very much larger scales compared to these smaller scales that we see here on his arm. Right there onto his feet or paws. There it says 1998. Bandai 1998 made in China. You can see the skin detail is nice and broad. It's kind of like dragon scales, even right here on the back leg. You can see he's crawling on all fours, as in he's crawling on his knees. And that's pretty much what Anguirus did back in the Showa series. He walked on his knees instead of walking on all 4 feet. And you can even see the carapace is really nicely detailed. I love how all these spikes are individually sculpted, and not a single one of them is the same as the other. You can see they're all pointing this way, and some of them point out to the side, which I think is really nice. You can see the detail right there at the bottom of the feet. And here's the tail with all the little individual spikes and scales that go all the way down to the tip. Like even the underbelly, as you can see right here at the underside of the tail, nice broad scales, turns into these small pebble kind of cobblestone-like scales. You can even see some wrinkles right here under his belly, right there under the jaw. And overall, I just think that the detail on this figure is really impressive, considering the fact that this is an old mold. This is the Anguirus mold from the Destroy All Monsters lineup that was released back when Bandai was kind of getting new with their figures. But this is the re-release of the Godzilla Island mold, which was made to be in 6-inch scale, unlike the original Anguirus, which was 8 inches, and it was much bigger than this. But to be quite honest, you know, for the small scale, I really do like this figure overall. Even though it's a little bit smaller than I think Anguirus should be, but either or, it's still nicely scaled, and it's a nice sized figure, even though it's, again, using a mold that is much smaller than the original mold from the Destroy All Monsters lineup from the original Bandai series. As I said, they reused this mold countlessly before with many figures in the past. There is a Toys Dream Project version of this figure, which is basically he just has a translucent head and this whole part is red, and then it's just the regular color of the original Godzilla Island Anguirus. And this one is obviously painted to look like the monochrome. You know, it gives a monochrome look like in the movie because it was in black and white. Back carapace is a light gray. The body has some dark grays as well as light grays all around. You can see even these dark shades to give a shadowing effect. The claws are painted really nice. You can see the horns here are painted really nice as well as the fangs and the teeth. And I think my favorite thing on this figure are definitely the eyes. Now, on most Anguirus figures of the Showa incarnations, his eyes are usually facing up, but on this Anguirus figure, they're facing forward, which I think looks better because most of the time when you looked at Anguirus from the front, his eyes would look kind of like they're going 2 different ways, and it didn't really look right, but on here they look just fine with them facing forward. And, you know, personally, in my opinion, it's just better this way. So the eyes are interestingly, they're not white, they're actually gray with the black pupil. So the paint job is really nice, and I do like the shading that goes around it to give it kind of a shadowing effect. So yeah, paint job is really nice on this one. There's no scratches, there's no scuffs that I can see, there's no mishaps anywhere. So yeah, definitely I really like the paint job on this figure. Now you guys have seen enough reviews to know the articulation on this figure, but I'll go through it. The head does not move, it is on a glue seal, but I'm pretty sure that if you break it, it will move, but I'm not going to do that because this is a memorial box figure. The front legs do swivel, and the back legs also move. The tail looks like it can articulate when you look at it from the top, but as you can see underneath, it's just one mold. So he just has 4 points of articulation, which is fine because Anguirus doesn't really need, any more points of articulation if he's just going to be on all fours like he's supposed to be. Alright then, let's do some size comparisons. Let's first bring out the 1954 Bandai Godzilla figure. As you guys can see, they're not that bad for scale. I mean, Anguirus I think is the perfect size. I think maybe he should be a little bit bigger, which is why, like I said before, the 8-inch figure probably fits in better scale with the 6-inch ones. But to me, this does look pretty good. And there's a better look because I didn't really give you guys a good angle to see the size comparison. Here he is compared to Bandai America's first Godzilla. As you guys can see, they still fit in good scale. And he sure as hell does not fit in scale with my Metacon Godzilla 1955. I mean, look at that. Godzilla would kill Anguirus instantly if he was this big. Here he is compared to Bandai's Godzilla 1968. As you guys can see, they still fit in good scale. I think Anguirus does look like a right size next to Godzilla. Even though, again, I think he should be a little bit bigger. And let's see. Now he looks way too small with this Godzilla 1968 by Bandai America. Here he is compared to Gigan 1972, and I think this is a really nice scale. If you recall that scene where Anguirus went into the buzzsaw of Gigan, I think it does look like a pretty good scale. Here he is compared to Bandai America's Mechagodzilla 1974. As you guys can see, this is still a good comparison, even though he didn't find Mechagodzilla when he was in this mode, but either way it still looks like a good comparison. And since he was originally supposed to appear in Godzilla Giant Monsters All Out Attack, boom. Now I don't know how big he was supposed to be in the movie, but either way this still looks like a good comparison with the X Plus America Godzilla 2001. Now for the hard part of the review. Does it still hold up as being the Anguirus from the 1955 film Godzilla Raids Again? Kind of. Of course, he doesn't resemble him too much because this is the Showa Anguirus mold that's been used countless times, and it's not really a changed mold as it's supposed to look like Anguirus from Destroy All Monsters. And obviously Anguirus was much bulkier in the 1955 movie, his crown looked different, he looked very intimidating, and as you guys know right here, this is supposed to be Anguirus from his show appearance from, again, Destroy All Monsters. And he resembles that more than the 1955 Anguirus, but obviously Bandai didn't want to make a new mold, even though it would have been great for, being exclusively for the 50th anniversary memorial box, even though I think it would have been much more rare if it was, a new mold. So they just kind of gave it, different repaint, the monochrome repaint, but I really do, again, really love how the eyes face forward. And does it hold up as a Shonen Anguirus figure? Definitely, it does look like Anguirus, although again, I think the tail should be longer, and these little crown of horns at the front obviously should be much longer, and they should curve a bit more forward. And maybe this horn should be a little bit skinnier, I don't know. But again, this wasn't really made for that, it's what Bandai was able to do. I don't mind, the short tail or the... Well, this I kind of do mind because I do wish he had longer horns, but nothing to really nitpick about. At least he does still have the horns. And I hate to say this, but I really do wish that Bandai America did get to release their 1955 Anguirus, as it does look more like the 1955 Anguirus instead of this one. But again, nothing to complain about, just little nitpicks here and there. This is still a great figure, and I really do like it overall, and I think it was definitely worth the pickup. And it does, again, resemble Showa Anguirus from the movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This figure gets a 4 out of 5 for me. He's a really nice figure overall, but again, I just wish that the sculpt was based more off the 1955 one instead of just being a reuse of the show mold. But again, that would have made the figure a lot more rare if it was part of the memorial box set and it looked like that. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and look forward to some more reviews for this series. This is Mr. Kydrick signing out. Stay awesome, everyone.